Now we are going to study about velocity time graph. Now this is case 1. So when the body is moving at constant velocity, or when the body is moving in a uniform velocity. See here, velocity time graph. So we have studied about distance time graph. In that, distance was placed in y-axis. Same way, the velocity is placed in y-axis. Velocity is placed in y-axis, and time is placed in x-axis. Now, in distance time graph, for an object which is moving in a uniform velocity, so how does the graph will be? So here I have taken an object which is moving at 40 km per hour. So that object is moving at 40 km per hour at every instant of time. In every instant of time it is moving at 40 km per hour. So the graph will be there. You will get a straight line which is parallel to x-axis. So here you can see the velocity is 40 km per hour. At every instant of time, 0 second the 40 km per hour. First second it is 40 km per hour. Second it is also 40 km per hour. Third second it is 40 km per hour. Fourth second 40 km per hour. Fifth second 40 km per hour. So it is moving in constant velocity. So 40 km per hour. So a graph for an object which is in uniform velocity, for a velocity time graph, it will gives a graph which is parallel to x-axis. Now, another important point that you have to note in velocity time graph is that the area enclosed below the velocity time graph and x-axis or the time axis will give the displacement. For example, here, now what is displacement? Displacement is equal to velocity into time. We know what is the, how can you find velocity? Displacement is equal to velocity into time. So here, what is velocity? If you are taking two time interval between this two time interval, t1 and t2, and here we know it is moving in 40 km per hour every instant of time. So I have taken a time interval between t1 and t2. Now here, yes, displacement will be velocity into time. So what is the value of velocity here? Here the value of velocity is 40 km per hour. So AC, this is 40, this much is 40, isn't it? This much is 40, so this is equal to this AC, that is velocity. Now, time. What is the time here? So time interval t1 and t2. So this is the time interval. This much is the time interval. So we can say AC into CD. So the displacement is AC into CD. So the area enclosed between the velocity time graph and the x-axis or the time axis will give the displacement. So this is this area. If you calculate, you will get the magnitude of the displacement. Okay, so that is equal to 40 into, here it is 40, that 40 into t1 and t2. So this time interval, how can be t2 minus t1, or it will be a negative value. That is why it is taking t2 minus t1. So 40, that is the displacement. This is 40 into t2 minus t1, this much kilometer. So if you are taking this is the displacement. So if you are taking this, the area of this triangle is the displacement. This area is the displacement. Okay, area of ABCD can be taken as the displacement. So for a velocity time graph, if the object is moving at uniform speed or uniform velocity, that graph will look like how? There will be a straight line which is parallel to time axis, and we can find the displacement from the velocity time graph by taking the area under the velocity time graph, and so that area will give the displacement.